This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, well, here I have totally 5 year experience in SAP and GRC security. For
Okay.
IDM, I have beginner experience. That's all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hi, I'm Lavanya. I have a total experience of 5 years in SAP Security and GRC.
And IDM is new to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Hi, hi Samrat.
Hi. Hi.
I'm Naresh. I'm a fresher. I don't have any experience in SAP.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
Hi everyone, it's me Yusuf. I have 5 up to 6 years experience in SAP, GRC, and security, but no experience in SAP IDM.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Myself Samrat, and I have almost 9 years of experience in SAP security, GRC, IDM, HANA, and in IDM area I am working for last almost 7 years. I started working on IDM version 7.1, then 7.2, and now I am currently working on the latest version is 8, IDM 8. So IDM is one of the very highly intelligent integrated tool which can connect SAP system, non-SAP system, various integrations can be done, and it will do the all kinds of automated process. For example, in your project, if you have the HR system or the success factor is nothing but the cloud versions of HR, or your on-premises HR system, you have the GRC system, you have various maybe 10, 15 above system, maybe 2, 3, 5 Java system, Active Directory system, such a complex scenario you have. So in order to assign the roles, the privilege access, providing access to the users, if you try to do it manually, lot of effort, lot of people, lot of things are required. But if you have this IDM tool in your project, it can integrate HR system, it can integrate your GRC system, and it will do it can connect all the above systems, all the Java systems, AD systems, Active Directory systems at all the time, so that somebody today, one new person joined the company, their data is getting stored into the HR system. It will IDM will pull automatically the data from the HR system, create the user into the IDM system. It will do the processing, the roles and privileges, whatever. These are the some technical terms of IDM. So assignment will be done. It will go to the GRC system for the risk analysis purpose, come back to IDM system, and it will trigger the user creations and role assignment to the all above system Java systems. So just imagine about the IDM scenario, that how much it can integrate all the heterogeneous system along with the various applications, since HR, since GRC. So just a person joined in a company, his data is storing into the HR. Within a hour or within 2 hours, the everything user ID is getting created into the respective SAP systems, SAP ABAP systems, SAP Java systems, so that within 1 or 2 hours he can full-fledgedly, actively can work in the systems. Just think about the manual scenario. If you have the users joined in the company, manually you have to create the user in every system and do the activity, share the password, share the user. So it will take a lot of time, maybe 3-4 days time it might take for a single user. But IDM system can do this activity within an hour. Not for one user, even if 100 users has been created, maybe 5-6 hours is required in order to update everything for every user in every system. But manually, if you compare, it might take at least 2 weeks time to do that. Right, so IDM is that platform or that tool to do this activity. So in order to do this work or in order to do this training, let me show you the course content that which I want to I will be discussing in our training session. So this is the architecture of the IDM system. What are the things are connected to the IDM system? The various UI, the databases, the virtual directory server. So there is the various components are there, which is integrated. All those things are integrated into the IDM system. So we will be discussing about the architectural part. Now we will be another things we will be discussing the within the system. What are the forms? Form means in order to create an user into the identity management or IDM system, you have to have some form. How you are creating form, how you are creating process, how you are creating job, all those things we will be discussing. We will be discussing about the concept of roles and privileges in IDM. Privilege is nothing but a PFCG role into the backend system, and roles are nothing but a blank box within IDM where we can add multiple privileges from various systems. So that if I assign this role to any user, so that if you can assign to this role to any user, it can be all the users can be created in multiple systems at the same time. Next we will be discussing about the approval workflow. So if you have any manual process, for example, if you are assigning one role to an user, manually you are taking approvals from the role owner or role approver, and then manually you are assigning. So if you have some approval workflow, everything can be done automatically. You are assigning the role to the user, automatically the approval message or approval trigger will be sent to the approver, so that he or she, the approvers, will once the approve the request, it will be assigning to the user. So any kind of manual intervention, manual mail, manual notification is not required. For that reason, we have to do some approval workflow configuration. This is one of the important scenarios, so that is why we have to understand these things separately. Now we will be next we will be discussing about various IDM system with non-SAP system. Non-SAP systems means one of the important non-SAP systems is Active Directory system. Active Directory systems, if we discuss about the Active Directory system, Then we will understand how IDM can integrate with this Active Directory system, and how data can be flow from IDM to the Active Directory system. Next, we will be discussing about HR integration. That means how we can integrate HR system to the IDM system, and how we will integrate GRC system to the IDM system, so that you can understand that entire complete business scenario. Either a user has been uploaded into the HR, then it is flowing into IDM system. From when you will assign some roles to the user, the roles into the IDM system, it will go for approval into the GRC system. And once GRC system, sorry, not approval in the GRC, it will go for the risk analysis. It will go for the risk analysis in the GRC system. So GRC system will do the risk analysis. If there is a risk, it will be sending back to IDM, or it need to be mitigated, or whatever the mitigation control is to be done in the GRC system, that can be done, and finally it is coming back to IDM for the provisioning. So those complicated scenario along with these integrations is required in order to do the entire thing automated. And after that, this is some very important things. It is not present in any, you will not find in any other training session. These are some basic knowledge of JavaScripting and SQL query that is required in IDM. And along with the JavaScripting and SQL query, there are some typical IDM tables and views, and typical IDM internal functions are required in order to understand this Java various process within IDM. So I will be providing you some basic knowledge of the JavaScripting, some internal SQL query, some internal functions, as well as some basic very frequently used tables in IDM. And we will be discussing about the installation process. Installations means not the basis installation. Basis will install the software into the database, but after that, as a security consultant, we have to configure those things. How? Through the Eclipse. This IDM is based on Eclipse. Through Eclipse, how we can install the IDM plugins, and through IDM plugins, how we can access the developer studio, that we will be discussing in this in our topic. So if you go to the system, just I am giving you an overview of a system. This is how system looks like. So just give me some time. Yeah. This is Eclipse-based IDM systems, or Eclipse-based identity management system. Okay, this is one system. Under the system, you will have the various. This is called the identity store. Under identity store, we have various entity type, attribute, and various packages. The IDM is package-based concept where we will see. And in the topic, what I have shown you probably in the next, this is form, this is job, and this is process. So those will be present under the packages. Under the package, here we will have some process, here we will have some form. This is called form, how you can create a form, how you can configure a form. This is called form area. Those things we will be configuring, we will be understanding those things, and we will be seeing how entire things are integrated. Like if you are creating a form, and this form is, if you go to the system, Okay. This is the form where you can type the user ID, first name, last name, user password, and submit. So the moment you submit, there has to be, and this is the thing that you have to configure. Whatever you can see it over here, that has to be configured in this area. And the moment you submit, there must be some process that has to be triggered in order to create the user into the database. IDM is integrated with the database. So that user ID has to be updated into the database, and in order to do that, some process has to be triggered from the form. So how the process is getting created, how the process are getting triggered from the form, those things will be showing. So the configurations of all kinds of interlinked things will be seen from here. This is called the Developer Studio. This is called the various UI or user interfaces area, and this is our database. This is our database. So this is how we work, we see, and we configure by our own for this IDM training and any kind of IDM project. So let me know if you have any specific question or specific requirement for the IDM training. Hello, anybody is there?
Hello. Hi, it's me,
Sampath,
Yusuf.
so
Yeah.
yeah, please go.
Yeah, Ishu, please go ahead.
Okay, sorry. No, my most interesting part was like,
But your voice is completely breaking. Means
yeah.
so much noise is coming. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. The most interesting part for me is like the interaction between SAP GRC and the IDM. But like you already said, you is one of the training parts, one of the units as well.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
The connection between SAP IDM and GRC. So this is
Yes.
the most interesting part for me. Is how
Okay.
they.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of the important integrations part. This is most of the companies who are having IDM and GRC, they are going to integrate. They are integrating the system, only for the risk analysis purpose.
Okay, thanks.
Sampath, so about the database, is it like it can be connected only to the Oracle or even HANA is possible?
No, currently IBM can connect only to Oracle, MS SQL, and IBM DB2. It's not HANA. HANA is not yet connected with IBM.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
We can integrate the IBM system with the HANA system, but IBM database is not a HANA database.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Here probably you can see in my screen, if you can see, there is one package specifically for the HANA system. HANA system connectors, SAP provided a package so that IBM can integrate with the HANA system, but not the IBM database is the HANA database. Okay. Okay. Any further question? regarding the training, timing or anything, if you are willing to join.
Yeah, hi. My name is Venkatesh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, but there is noise are coming. Anyway.
Yeah. Actually, I'm new to SAP IDM. Actually, I have done my course on SAP VWA and HANA. Uh, Recently, I joined as a fresher for the SAP IDM of some of company.
Okay.
So how it will be work out in future? SAP IDM.
See, to be very frank, SAP IDM currently in the market, it is very hot skill or very niche skill, I will say, because lot of companies are using SAP IDM for their purpose, but that much resource is not present in market.
Okay.
So okay,
Compared to
so
Oracle IDM, how is it in the market?
compared to Oracle IDM, SAP IDM is important because most of the cases where SAP is there, they use the SAP IDM. Okay,
Okay.
and Oracle IDM, because in SAP currently, if you consider the market of SAP and market of Oracle, SAP is where the SAP is present, so their target is to the all the SAP systems should be integrated, all the SAP connectors should be integrated. Now IDM, in the next version, IDM is planning to integrate with all the cloud applications. I
Okay.
don't know about much about the Oracle IDM that can integrate with the cloud applications or that can integrate with the SAP systems or not. But where the SAPs are present, there they can install the IDM so that it can integrate all the SAP system in the same by a single tool, and it can integrate the other cloud application as well. So I would say that this SAP applications is like where the SAP applications is there, the SAP IDM is much more required.
Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
for the SAP IDM new people, what we have to know the basic knowledges on SAP IDM. What we have
Uh,
such. Yeah.
you need to not much basic knowledge is required from the SAP side. But SAP side, I will say that security side, some basic knowledge. I will say the role creation and the user creation. That knowledge is enough for this idea because apparently it is the part of SAP security. Everybody used to say that this is the role assigning to the user is part of the SAP security job. But working in IDM area is not at all a SAP security job. It's completely different tool, completely different scenario in front of you. So that you can see, right? You can see in the screen that these things is no longer related to our traditional SAP user ID creations area. So not much knowledge of SAP security, just a user creation knowledge and the role creation, how to create a role in PFCG, not in details in field area or your authorization subject fields. Those things are not required. Just to create a PFCG role, to understand the difference between PFCG and the privileges in IDM. That only required to understand those things. So only the user creations and role creation on a high level is required to work on this IDM area.
Yeah.
But yes, good. If it is good if you have some basic scripting knowledge, basic SQL knowledge. Although based on my previous training experience, lot of people doesn't have that knowledge. So that is why I put into my training session this particular two topics: the scripting knowledge and the database knowledge, the SQL knowledge.
Yeah. How many days this course will be completed? How many working days?
It's normally, I used to say normally 22 to 25 hours course. Okay, every day on an average in the morning time I used to take 1.5 hour session.
Okay.
So like maybe 15 to 20 days it will be covered.
So will you cover any real-time projects in this? Not really.
Real-time project means I will give you something to do, like when I will tell you that form or process or job, then I will probably tell you, okay, create a master load process of 100 users creation or 5 users creation, create a master load process. That is something a real-time scenario. That is something a real-time scenario. In real time you have to do those kind of a thing. So whatever the real-time scenario I have faced in my so-called various project experience, I will tell you to do those things by your own. So that will help you to understand the system as well as the what kinds of real-time scenario you will face, that you will understand as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Actually, in GRC, we have hello.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, in GRC we have different type of routings and different stages of approval. So, is that possible in IDM as well, or just one development?
Sorry, I am not clear. Actually, your voice was not clear to me.
Okay. In GRC, we have different stages of approval as well as different routing of approvals, right? So, is that
Yeah,
possible in
yeah.
IDM as well, or
Different stages of approval, different routing possible. Stages means you can say. Can you give an example? Like it is not coming into my mind.
for example, like 2 to 3 level of approvals?
Yes. That can be done.
Okay.
That can be done. 2 levels approval, 3 levels approval. That can be done.
Okay.
Even in IDM, for GRC, you have to have some, you know, suppose you have some one set of rule, you will be following one MSMP workflow, one kinds of MSMP workflow. Their approval process is pretty simpler. Some rules you have to create a different MSMP workflow. You have to create a separate MSMP workflow for from critical roles. Here also you can do the same thing. For simple roles, you can send the role without workflow. For some critical roles, you can send it through the workflow. So those things you can do as well in the IDM side.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And one more question. So,
Yeah.
like IDM can possibly to be used as a HR system as well.
No, IDM, yeah, I mean HR system, not HR system as well. HR system is HR system. Right. IDM can integrate with the HR system so that today any user joined in the company, their partner, their company code, their job positions is getting updated into the HR system. So once we do the integrations between IDM systems and HR system, the data will be flowing flawlessly without any manual intervention. The data will be coming into IDM system. As well as for example for your for external users, for the contractor users, they don't have the uh, their HR component, right, because they are the external users. For them, we can create the users directly into IDM system. So IDM system can be used as a source in those cases. But for companies users cases, HR will be used as a source. Okay, are
Okay,
you getting
because
my point
what
or?
is my, yeah, I am getting this point because what I want is I just wanted to understand the difference between this IDM and GRC. Apart from like IDM can function with both SAP and non-SAP system, right? So apart from
Yes,
this, I just wanted to understand how IDM is better than GRC. So that's what I asked.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah, please.
Yeah. Can we do reports on VW on this area?
Uh, Come again,
Can we
please.
make a report? Can we make a reports on idea?
Reports. Yes, yes, yes. We can extract report from IDM. Various
Can
report
you
from
show?
IDM.
Can you show me that? How can we like
Uh,
whole?
like report means again I told you the form, job and process. So we can create a various job in order to create the report. For example, I create a report of let's say I create a job. Here we can create a job and the report will be taking from the for example report of user creation. So let's say you want to create one report of user creations of every month. Every month, how many new users has been created. So in order to do that thing, you have to create one report that is what it is called to ASCII file. So here, basically from the database, we write a query over here from the database because we have the data source and we have the database from the enterprise people, and from the database we write a query that in the last month how many new users are created. There are some tables are there. From their table we can create a report and we can store the data to ASCII file some location. For the some of our locations, if you have some file, you can save the file. Okay, maybe in the desktop. Usually one location, not in the desktop. So in this location, you get the file and generate a CSV file. Okay, so just I'm just giving you random path. Generate a CSV file. If you have CSV header, you can have the CSV header. Means header obviously in the report you must be having some header. And on the next pass, you can create another path. You can through a mail, you can send the report to the some specific person who is required, who requires this report. Maybe to generic pass we use, and from this to generic pass we send the report to someone else if you want send. So this is how we usually create the report. But the main thing is you have to build a query in such that way.
Yeah.
The sending and storing, those are the normal part. But the query you have to build in your convenient way. Means what is the requirement and what is the things that you want.
Yeah. Mostly, what are the SQL queries we are using in SAP? Or what are the area particular?
See, there is no standard SQL queries are present.
Everywhere we can
Based
use
on everything you can use whatever you require, you write a query. But yes, if you want that what are the tables are used, that I will tell you that there are various tables are used, but mostly frequently used tables. These are some entry sample views, link ext, and value basic, a idmv underscore value underscore basic, idmv underscore link underscore ext. Those are some various views are there, which is very frequently used. But there is no typical query is there that we will use. Whatever, it's a random query you can use.
yeah.
Any further question?
Can you provide any tutorials like can you
Yes,
provide any
this is
tutorials
the
on
some post. Yes, one tutorial we have. This completely I have built up this tutorial, and that will be shared during the training session. This is almost uh, 69, sorry, 84 pages tutorial. Each and every details, try to build up each and every details inside this document. So I will be sharing this document with you during the training session, and we will be providing access to this server for 1 month. If you require more, you have to, since this is the rented server, so you have to pay the rent extra for next month. And this tutorial I will be providing during the training session.
yes, it's okay.
I have one question.
Okay.
So when the
Yeah.
training is going to start, or is there any plan?
That you can talk to Harsha, I believe. Probably she will arrange the training session, and then the training will be starting. Next Tuesday, from next Tuesday, one training will be starting, and it is normally in the morning time, 7:30 to 9. That is the expected time. But during the training, if sometimes maybe 15 minutes early, sometimes, so that we will discuss during our training sessions. Maybe someday you might be busy, or I might be have some another urgent work, so we can skip. So those things we can discuss it. But the starting, you have to talk to Nikita, because next Tuesday, one person want to start. So if you want to start, then probably you can join the Tuesday session.
Yeah, and is it possible to have a longer session in the weekend instead of every day?
Hmm.
No. Is it also as well possible?
Sorry, tell me.
Yeah, is it, for example, is it possible to have a longer session like 5 or 6 hours on Saturday? Just one session a week?
5-6 hours will not be possible because, to be very frank, if I continuously, continue the 5 and 6 hours, people not used to take that much. Okay, means after 2 hours or 3 hours, people used to, okay, no, the lot of things are, lot of inputs are coming, so let's stop now.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay, okay, so that is one of the things, because it's not, my target is not just to complete the training. My target always, since I am a technical person, my target after the training, you should work independently. You should understand whatever I am, discussing during the training. You should understand everything. Okay, that is why I always prefer that 1 to 1.5 hours training every day, so that you can understand those things. Otherwise, in weekend, if I do 5 and 6 hours, the 2 weekends I can complete the training. But I have a doubt whether you will understand everything or not.
Okay. One more, sorry. And is it just one training at 7:30, or you can arrange several trainings in the day, like I don't know, like 12?
No, no, no. Actually, normally morning one training sessions I keep.
Okay, thanks.
It might be like, it's not that 7:30. Might be if you are comfortable at 7, or if you are comfortable at 8. So that thing I can adjust based on our both convenient time. But not that 7:30. I am not rigid on the 7:30, but only one sessions I used to complete, because after that I have some work to do. So
Okay.
Are there going to be any sessions during the weekends?
yeah, we can do. Most of the people so far I have done, because most of the working professional people, so they keep weekend free. They want weekend free. So usually I don't take any training sessions on the weekend.
Mhm.
But if you are
Okay,
comfortable
understood.
on the weekend, morning time, maybe
Mhm.
you can think that, okay, no, weekend, weekdays maybe 2 or 3 days. I can take one and
Mhm.
1.5 hours. Then and weekend maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. If you comfortable, we can do that.
Mhm. Okay, I'm asking because I'm like probably in a completely different time zone. I'm in Europe, in Poland. So for me, like the morning in India would be, I think, in the
Yeah,
middle of
you're
my.
very early. You're very
Yeah.
early timing, I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll see. Thanks.
Yeah. So for you might be the weekend will be the, good timing.
Yes.
Okay, so that can be discussed further on the weekend session. Maybe weekend afternoon, or afternoon time might be your comfortable time for you. I believe so.
Sure.
So that you can discuss further. Okay, during the timing sessions, we can discuss further those things. What time will be comfortable? You can talk to Harsha and Harsha can coordinate with me, so that we can discuss those things in a convenient time. But for the training content and training material or for training related. If you have any question, please let me know. Harsha, are you there in the call?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. So probably, someone having some problem on the morning time, he need the weekend time, so you can talk to them individually and discuss with the timing. Based on that, we can arrange the sessions accordingly.